Hello, everyone. Okay, I know some people have been waiting for this one for a while, so let's try to drag it out a bit, just as I did with Hugo 3. I dragged it out over two videos, even though it probably could have been done in one video. Let's try to drag this out a little bit because this is probably gonna. We're getting actually close to the end of the Sierra adventure games that I will actually play, so might as well try to make them last. So yeah, it's time for Space Quest 3, which is a good game. It's a nice game. It's a very good game in my opinion. Um, so yeah, let's get into it and let's see what we have here. So I'll run the install program first, and what you might notice right away is that this is a newer version of the game. You can tell because the installer is so bright and colorful. It has all these lovely colors. And don't get me wrong, I love these colors, but it's a newer version of the game, so I might actually end up playing. In fact, I kind of decided to play an older version of the game. I just wanted to show this so you can see the options that we have here. Now, graphics are okay. You have the option between regular EJ graphics or IBM PS2 graphics. I mean, I guess we'll go with EJ Music, yeah. This version of the game has an option for a Sound Blaster card. Now, I think I might have said this in the past, but I'll just kind of tell the story. This is one of the games that really got me kind of frustrated because it seemed to me that it should look better and sound better than it did. Um, I did not know. So my first PC we got in 1991. I think it was August of 1991. It had a Sound Blaster. It had like the original, one of the original Sound Blaster cards, not like Sound Blaster Pro or 16 or anything like that. An actual original 8-bit Sound Blaster card that fit in an 8-bit ISA slot. And the thing is, I didn't know that the Sound Blaster was 100% ad-lib compatible. I didn't know that you could choose ad-lib audio in games, and so the version of the game that I played was older than this one. It didn't say anything about Sound Blaster; it just had an option for ad-lib, and I didn't pick that because we didn't have an ad-lib card. And I didn't know you could use ad-lib audio with the Sound Blaster. I didn't know much about computers back then, and I didn't know that the Sound Blaster was ad-lib compatible. So I played the whole game with the IBM PC internal speaker. There is, of course, the option for Roland MT32 here, which I'm not going to do. And then, yeah, Sound Blaster, AdLib, obviously. I mean, Sound Blaster and AdLib give you the same result. In this game, at least, they give you the exact same result. There's no digitized audio, so choosing Sound Blaster is the same thing as choosing Sound Blaster AdLib. And there's the Game Blaster option, so yeah. No joysticks, use the mouse and use the extra memory. So, yeah, this is well and good, but there are a few things missing here, and I'm actually going to go back to an older version of the game and play the older version of the game just for some nostalgia purposes and kind of show you what's there, what's missing here. So this, I believe, if you actually run the game, like if you actually start this version of Space Quest 3 and you go to the About option in the menu, it tells you it's version 1.018 of the game. I don't know how many versions of the game were released, but this is version 1.018 of Space Quest 3. So I'm going to go ahead and kick out of this, and that's fine. That's what the install program looks like. But I'm going to go ahead and actually go to SQ3 old, and let's go ahead and run the install program here. Now, the install program here is markedly different. Not only is it black and white instead of colorful, which is, itself maybe not a huge thing. I mean, it's just a cosmetic thing, I guess. But what's significant here is there's actually a lot more on offer in terms of graphics and sound options. So right away you see here, obviously we have CGA, so you can do CGA, 2-color and 4-color CGA, which we didn't have from the other game. Okay, this is regular EGA. I mean, this is probably what most people play on, EGA 16 colors. There's Hercules Monochrome, PS2, which we saw before, and then PC Junior and Tandy graphics, which I actually want to show. I actually want to show you what it looks like when running Tandy. But just before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and give you the regular experience. Let's do the regular experience, and then we can get into the kind of funny stuff after that. So I'll go ahead and just start off with the regular stuff, which most people do, which is, again, is EJ 16 colors. Also, this frustrated me at the time because I couldn't figure out why the game wouldn't run in 256 colors. I actually played this game later than it came out. So King's Quest IV, I played pretty much when it came out, or I guess a couple of years after it came out. And, you know, a lot of other games I played around the time they came out, but this game I played a little bit later, and I had already played Space Quest 4 before this, and Space Quest 4 runs in 256 color VGA, and somehow it didn't dawn on me. I just couldn't comprehend that this game doesn't have a 256 color mode. And so I was kind of getting frustrated and saying, yeah, okay, 16 colors is great, but where's the 256 color option? Well, it doesn't exist. There never was one for this game. This game was not made for that many colors. It was made for 16 colors tops. So this was something that caused me a lot of frustration when I was a kid because I played this game in I think I didn't play this until 1993, 94, something like that, a couple of years after I played Space Quest 4, and so I was thinking, why doesn't this run? It just didn't somehow didn't dawn on me. This is a game from 1988. It didn't have that many colors yet. Anyway, EJ 16 colors, and then, yeah, and again, the sound capabilities. So I want to just have you experience what the Tandy sounds like, because it's pretty cool, actually. And yeah, there's the ad lib option here, which probably most people would play with today. But again, having a Sound Blaster and having this menu here, this menu doesn't say anything about Sound Blaster. I didn't know that you could choose ad lib with a Sound Blaster card, so I ended up going with the PC internal speaker, and that's why it sounded like, well, you know, it sounded like the internal PC speaker. I mean, there are games that make good use of the internal PC speaker, like Hugo 3. I mean, you know, that little jingle that plays when you run Hugo 3, it's just so cute. I mean, I was just, you know, I was rocking out to that. That's such a great use of DOS PC speaker audio. And then there are games that make very poor use of it. Like, one example that comes to mind is Leisure Suit Larry 3. Now, I love Leisure Suit Larry 3, but if you if you play it with PC speaker sound, you know, you run it and you get that. I mean, okay, the opening music, like the music that plays during the title screen, isn't maybe that bad, but then you get to the actual start of the game itself, and you have that. I sang a little off key, but it just sounds horrible. It's just this incredibly annoying wailing coming from the PC speaker. It doesn't sound bad with ad lib audio, but with the PC speaker, it's like one of the most horrible audio experiences in any Sierra game that you could probably have. Anyway, so let's go and choose the ad lib sound card because that's the best you can get with this game. Yeah, IBM keyboard is fine. Numlock is off. Joystick, no. Mouse, yes. Escape, because that's already on the hard drive. All right, let's go ahead and run this now. I'm just going to go ahead and go through the intro sequence just so you can kind of see it, because, I mean, most of you know this game. It's not like this is something new for most of you folks, but let's go ahead and pretend that somebody's not actually seen this game before, and let's go ahead and run the game like it's something new for somebody. So here we go. So I didn't want to talk over that because that was the great crowning achievement of this game. That little jingle that you hear at the beginning there was written by none other than Bob Siebenberg. I guess he would pronounce it Siebenberg because he's not German. He's a German name, but he's American, I think. So, actually, is he American? Actually, or is he British? I'm not sure now. Anyway, he was the drummer for Supertramp, and so for Sierra it was a big deal to have this name recognition of an actual professional musician, like a professional rock musician doing the music for the game. The pod, considered to be nothing more than another piece of scrap, is taken aboard a robot-commanded garbage freighter. Unfortunately, these robots have no regard for organics. So yeah, this pod that we're seeing, or that we just saw, is of course the escape pod that Roger escaped with at the end of Space Quest 2, which you might remember if you have played or seen Space Quest 2, because that's how the game ended, with us on that escape pod. The small pod is jarred by a sudden shock, which triggers the sleep chamber's revive mode. As the glass shroud slides back, Roger slowly begins to regain consciousness. Where am I? They've actually always made Roger kind of handsome. It strikes me, actually, I mean, it's not really something I pay attention to because I'm not gay, but actually, when you think about it, they've always portrayed Roger as kind of handsome. I mean, he's always been kind of a loser, but he's always been kind of ruggedly handsome in that sort of classic sci-fi, kind of B-movie sci-fi kind of way. You notice that the sounds from the pod grow softer until they are imperceptible. Having served its purpose and taxed its resources, the pod gives a final hum and shuts down. Okay, here we go. And thus begins the game. So there's actually not much of an intro. Like, the game doesn't really give you much of a plot to start with. You're just dragged on board this garbage freighter because the robots don't care that there's an organic life form on board. It just detects your pod as a piece of scrap and just sucks it on board with a tractor beam, and that's it. This is how the game starts. So yeah, it's not a really big, long intro sequence. In contrast, other games that have like a long story that starts up is just like, okay, you're sucked into the ship, and it's actually a much shorter story than the previous two Space Quest games, I think. So yeah, this is how we start, and you can hear some music playing in the background, which really blew me away when I understood that the music actually plays constantly in the background. This was not a usual thing for Sierra Adventures at the time. It was not a usual thing for a constant running musical score. There might be, moments where music plays in certain situations, but not like just a constantly running, musical score that's not diegetic, I think is the word. Like, it doesn't come as a result of, music being played by something or someone. It's just music that's being played, even though there's nothing making the music. If you know what I mean. Like, it's basically I think that the word in filmmaking is diegetic music is music that you can hear because someone or something is actually playing that music, and this is non-diegetic music. It's music that's just being piped into the game's audio because it's part of the game's soundtrack, but there's nothing actually making that music. Anyway, but yeah, this really blew me away. There's music playing here because, again, I played the game with the PC speaker option at first. When I was a kid, I played with the PC speaker, and besides the fact that the PC speaker doesn't sound very good, it doesn't play any music here. So I played this whole segment just silent. Well, I mean, I played with the sound effects, but there was no music here. So this music is actually, it's not great music. Like, it's not the kind of music that, you would listen to for hours and hours. But in my opinion, it's not bad. Like, it's actually a fairly moody kind of track. It's, it makes a decent use of ad-lib sound. And, yeah, it's actually pretty good background music. It's pretty good for this setting. I like it. Anyway, so if we go into the menu by pressing escape, you can see stuff about the game, and you can see this is version 1.0U of the game, dating to April 13th of 1989. As I said, the other version of the game that we saw before, we just saw the install program of before, that was version 1.018. So this is a slightly older version of the game. I don't know what's different other than the support for the different graphics and sound cards. I don't know what's actually changed in the game other than that. Presumably there's been some bug fixing and whatever going on, but I'll play the older version just in case there's some cool bug that we discover. So yeah, as usual, the game is, created and written by Mark Crow and Scott Murphy, the two guys from Andromeda. Also programmed by Scott Murphy, Doug Oldfield, Ken Cox, all these people. And yeah, music by Bob. Again, the German pronunciation is Siebenberg, but I think he would just say Siebenberg because, obviously, again, he's not German. Where is he from? Hold on, let me just check. I'm afraid I don't know much about Mr. Siebenberg's background. Let me just go ahead and take a moment to check his Wikipedia page. I mean, I really shouldn't rely on Wikipedia, but Robert Lane Siebenberg, also known as Bob C. Benberg, is an American musician. Okay, he's born in Glendale, California. Or what he was born in Glendale, California. But he was a member of Supertramp, which was a British group, wasn't it? Yeah, Supertramp was a British group from London. Okay, so it was a British group, but it had some American members, or at least one American member. Okay, anyway, so yeah, Mr. Siebenberg was the drummer for Supertramp, and he said, you know, that little jingle that he wrote for the game, that da 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 da. Da 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 da. That was basically it. He said, I didn't really think much of it at the time, but I just kind of, you know, put it in the game. So basically, he admitted there's a YouTube video where he's talking about, you know, his involvement in the game, and he basically tacitly admits that he just threw in this sort of low effort, low quality sort of riff into the game just so that they could put his name on the game and say, wow, Bob Siebenberg made the music for this game. It's awesome. Anyway. Okay, so now would be a good time to start the game, but I'm going to go ahead and kick out of this and just show you the Tandy experience just for a second. So yeah, I'll choose Tandy graphics, still 16 colors, and yeah, Tandy audio, or actually, wait, no. I wonder if I get different results if I choose Tandy 1000 SL versus Tandy 1000 Series or IBM PC Junior. I'm going to choose this because this is the more usual option. I wonder if there's a difference. All right, so I've got the Tandy audio selected in the install program, but I am going to have to restart DOSBox because I need to twiddle the DOSBox options so that we're actually emulating a Tandy machine, because otherwise it's going to look like... Actually, you know what? Scratch that. Let me show you what it does if you run in the Tandy mode while not emulating a Tandy machine. This is pretty wild. Hold on to your hats, because this is actually this is kind of surprising, perhaps. Yeah, it does this. It's obviously doing some kind of text. I mean, that's obviously some kind of text mode, something that is really... I mean, look at this. Wow. Wow, it's like it's using text mode to generate the graphics. And there's a text mode rendition of the two guys from Andromeda's portraits that we saw before. And it's not playing any audio because we're not emulating the audio properly. And wow, that looks terrible. Okay, and if we run the game, this is that scene that we saw. This is that scene with the pod and Roger getting out of the pod and everything. It's pretty crazy. All right. Now that we've seen that, let's go ahead and do this properly. Let's go ahead and go to DOSBox options and go to machine type. And I'm going to choose the Tandy option. Don't want to do regular VGA machine. Want to do a Tandy machine. Where's Tandy? There's Tandy. There we go. All right, let's run DOSBox again. And let's just see how the Tandy experience looks. So graphically, it looks, I mean, the graphics look fairly similar to what we saw before. Obviously, the audio is different. And yeah, the audio is a lot less punchy, it's a lot less advanced, but it's definitely a significant improvement over the regular IBM PC speaker. Because again, you know, there is some possibility for volume modulation here, and again, you have 3 voice harmonies, which you don't have with the PC speaker. So yeah, graphically, I don't think I could tell the difference. I don't think there is a difference. I think graphically it's identical, but the audio is significantly different. And this is what that music sounds like. Let me make it a little louder. This is actually really cool. I really like how this sounds. This is awesome. Okay. Okay, I think that's enough. So, I'm sorry, I've taken up a lot of time because I wanted to show, I wanted to show this. I wanted to be able to share this experience with you folks for a bit. But let's go ahead and go back to the installer, and let's just set everything back to, again, what most people probably will play with, which is, EGA, VGA, AdLib card, yeah, IBM keyboard, no joystick, yes mouse, installation complete. Okay, I need to restart DOSBox one more time. But before I do that, I need to set the options back to emulate a VGA machine and not a Tandy machine. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, I think we're finally set. I think I can finally start playing the game for real now. So let's just go ahead and skip the intro. And I'm going to press plus to... Wow, look how fast Roger goes. I pressed plus on the numeric keypad several times to speed up the game. All right. Okay. That took 20 minutes, but I think it was worth it. I think it was worth looking at a little bit of the history of the game here. So, or not the history of the game, but the different options and possibilities of the game. So, I guess there's not really a lot to see here. I guess I should still try to take a look around. I mean, yeah, we're standing in a debris-cluttered junk bay, an escape pod resting in the room. There are chunks of metal lying around which seem to be small sections of old spaceware. The game does not mention this here. I guess, I don't know if you're supposed to... I think when I first played the game, I didn't really notice it, because it looks just like another piece of junk. It doesn't look like anything that really should attract your attention. But, let's see. Is that looking at the ground or looking at the floor? The floor is composed of a mosaic of overlapping welded steel plates. The menage of used metal plates appear to have been cut from a variety of sources. There's a small round object lying nearby. Okay, that's your first clue that this is something significant. If you look at the ground, now it gives you this, it calls out this small round object. But on your first look around, it doesn't really give you any hint that that's something significant. I mean, it may seem obvious that it's significant, but it didn't really look significant to me when I first played this game. I just kind of, it blended in with the rest of the trash to me. So anyway, let's take a look at the small round object. A close look at the object on the floor reveals that it is a warp motivator. It looks a bit more high-tech than the other junk strewn about this locale. Sturdily constructed, its only protrusion is a modular plug near its base. Okay, that level of description makes it pretty clear that it's something significant. I mean, when the game goes into that much detail, then you realize it's something significant, but it wasn't really apparent to me at the time. Can I open this pod? Go back inside. The door was automatically sealed when the pod is shut down. Shortly after your exit, it has served its purpose and will be of no further use. Well, that's a shame. Oh yeah, and check this out. See how how he changes his color when he goes into the shadow? Oh, that's so cool. See, this is the kind of thing which, today, it seems very... very minor. Like today it seems like such a small thing that, his sprite changes color when he walks into the shadow. But back then in 1989, wow, that was like, wow, his sprite changed color when he walked into the shadows. It's like real-time lighting. Wow. Awesome. So, we're quite impressed with the size of the junk freighter. The skeletal remains of a stripped-down space tanker stage lie half buried in scrap. Looks to be another metallic menace whose time has come and gone. Hopefully fate will be kinder to you. Yeah, all this stuff is just junk. Like, we can't actually... It's junk. You don't need junk. Now think of something better and let's get on with this game. Yeah, alright. So yeah, can't do much with the stuff here. We can walk through this tunnel here. Someone or something has done a real job on this tanker. Was this the result of some space battle, or perhaps you're not the only one roaming around in here? Who or what else might be here with us? Anyway, coming out on this side here. What do we have here? The gutted carcass of the tanker opens up to reveal even more junk. A metal head rests nearby. Yeah, this is a head. You can see the eyes. I mean, this is like a... Wow, an ancient model of a battle bot. I bet he'd run into whatever brought this big guy down. Looks like something poked it in the eye. Indeed, it did. And, Can we get a better look at that eye? There are two eyes in the BattleBot head. One of them has been broken. Can we... I don't remember how I figured this out. I guess it was just... I mean, this thing here kind of looks like a ladder, sort of. Can we enter the eye? Yeah, we can. Alright. Actually, he doesn't even climb up the ladder. He just goes right into the eye. I thought that thing looked like a ladder, but he doesn't really use it as... This thing, this blue thing here, he uses like a ladder. But he didn't use that red thing before as a ladder. He just got right into the eye. Alright, so what do we have here? You find yourself at the bottom of another trash pit. An interesting array of alien artifacts is strewn from one end to the other. A large ship is in the middle, and a small one is off to one side. Okay, so you have a large ship and a small ship. Let's look at the small ship. It's a cute little thing. You've never seen anything like it in these parts, but then where are these parts? Some writing on its exterior reads, "For a good time, don't call Hal." Okay. I guess the makers of 2001: A Space Odyssey couldn't sue Sierra just for using the name Hal. I guess that wasn't sufficient cause for a lawsuit. Enter small ship. Can't do that from down here. Open ship? This is what the game says when it doesn't understand what you were trying to say. I don't think we can exit this room. I think this is a dead end except for that blue ladder that we came in from. And yeah, there's obviously some... There are some toy-like structures here. This is obviously a Tinker toy, and these look like Lego blocks. Can I say, look at Tinker toy? The remnants of an orbital space station, perhaps some type of toys for an oversized child. The Legos? Same thing, alright. So, the main feature here, for those who don't know, I mean, again, as if people don't know this game, is this big ship in the middle. It's a sleek-looking number if you can disregard the junk it's rooted in. It must be a recent addition to the collection as everything seems to be intact. Etched on each side is the name Aluminum Mallard. On top is a small hatch. This, of course, is a parody... I say of course, I mean, it may not be obvious to some people. It's a parody of... what is it called? It's that ship from Star Wars. I think it's called the Millennium Falcon. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Yeah, the Millennium Falcon. But this is the Aluminum Mallard. So there's the small hatch on top. That's this rounded thing here. But can we get in there from here? No, we can't do that from down here. We don't have a way to get up there yet, so we'll have to... We can't actually do anything here. We'll have to come back here later when we can get into that ship. Everything else here is just... Everything else here is just garbage, right? Interesting. If you say get garbage... It doesn't understand, or it says it doesn't seem to be available. But if you say get junk, it understands what that is. Interesting. Alright, so we can just say climb to get back out of here. And he climbs back out of the robot. And if we try to go this way... Oh gosh. That's also not really apparent to me. This is kind of like... This is like what Hotline Miami 2 does. It has a lot of stuff that's just like just off the edge of the screen, so you can't really see the threat that's there. It's one thing that annoyed me about Hotline Miami 2. That's what this game did here, because it doesn't seem to me like that's a cliff, but it is. Oh gosh, you've stepped off a metallic escarpment and tumbled into the darkness. Twisted, jagged remnants of old vehicles reach out to slow your dark descent, cutting short your life in the process. Yep, deceleration trauma. Wouldn't be so bad if this didn't stop at the end. Next time we get so close to the edge. This game has slightly dark... this game... So the two guys from Andromeda always had a really dark sense of humor, but this game sort of amps that up a little bit, and some of these death scenes are a little bit gruesome. So, you know, if you don't like violence, if you don't like blood, be warned. Some of these... I mean, it doesn't get a whole heck of a lot worse than this, but, you know, there is some stuff like this that we'll see. Some of these death screens, they don't spare on the blood. It's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be a joke, but I guess I need to delete those games. I think those are my games, and I actually didn't anticipate that I've had this copy of the game for a while. I didn't realize that I was going to do this Let's Play with it, so I must have not deleted them. I think those are not leftovers from someone else. I think those are actually my saves, but I will have to delete them. Well, I don't have to, but I'll delete them so that we don't start playing with an old set of saved games. Anyway, so rather than restoring a game, since I didn't save my game, I'll just restart. And that takes us back here. I'm going to speed things up again. Wow, Roger moves so fast. Alright, So we can't do anything over there right now. Let's go down this time. Let's take a screen down from here. And we can't really do much here either, but we can look around at least. Various types of abandoned spacecraft live on the floor of this intergalactic junkyard. All this place needs a junkyard dog. You shiver at the thought. So you can look at this ship. I think if you say look ship, it actually is location sensitive. It will actually describe the closest ship to where you are. So it's describing this sort of cyan-colored ship here. So it says Jupiter 2. This baby must have been floating around there for a long time. Doesn't look for very long. Okay. I know that's a reference to something. This is another fine but worthless Acme product. This thing down here might look familiar. Oh, does it not? Come on. Come on, look at the ship, man. This bulbous craft looks like it doesn't need a lot of action in today. You believe it to be a bow TIE fighter dating back to the Clone Wars, a true relic. Of course, it is a parody of a TIE fighter dating back to the Clone Wars from Star Wars. So, yeah. They probably got sued for that as well. Space Quest got Sierra sued for a lot of things. And this looks to be some type of tunnel boring implement. Yes, indeed. It is, yeah, I think it's meant to look like a, yeah, like a boring implement. Boring in the sense of drilling through something, not in the sense of unexciting. Although for some people it may be unexciting as well. What's this piece of metal here? There's a piece of metal. You see nothing but riveted steel. Okay, yeah, it's like just a piece of riveted sheet metal here. Can we get the metal? Yow! Oh dear. That doesn't look very healthy. It's always that the metal is sharper than you. The resulting laceration turns you into a living fountain, at least for a few moments. Unfortunately for you, this show was your finale. Good luck in the afterlife. Yeah, it's a Sierra adventure, in case there wasn't any doubt. In case there was any doubt, it is a Sierra adventure, and picking up a piece of sheet metal on the ground or on the floor kills you instantly. Well, that's one way to lower your blood pressure. Arterial art. Is there such a thing? I doubt that arterial art is a real thing. I feel like that's something they made up for the game. Anyway, okay. Well, we didn't get very far in this video. We saw all of, what, like 4 screens? No, it was a little more. Wait. We saw 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess 6 screens. That's not bad, actually. I covered 6 screens in one video. Wow, it's a new record. It's a new record. Okay, but next time we'll go faster. Next time we'll see, I think, the rest of this freighter. I just wanted to take a little time to see some of the stuff that was here at the beginning, but I think next time things will go faster. But I'll stop here because this has been going on for half an hour already, so it's a good time to stop the video. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope that you've enjoyed. I really like this game. I'm going to play it maybe a little bit differently from how I played other games because, like I said, I'm going to try to drag it out a little bit and kind of see more of the, stop and smell some of the flowers along the way, kind of enjoy some of the diversions and things that the game has. Or maybe not. Maybe I won't. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, once again, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you folks all later. And until next time, bye-bye for now.